What is up, sports fans? We are back for another episode of The Real and the Rare. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rochelle, and the rare one joining me tonight is the one and only UFC Flyweight, Miss Lauren Murphy. Lauren, appreciate the time this evening, as always, my friend. How you feeling tonight?
Good, thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
It's always a pleasure catching up with you, my friend. Uh, lots of craziness going on in the combat sports world as of late. I just read somewhere that Manny Pacquiao's now making a comeback at 46. He's be fighting July 9th. A lot of the older fighters finding ways to get back into the sport. Manny's kind of one of the recent ones. You're getting ready to. From what I hear, making your final walk. What finally made you decide this is going to be the last walk?
I'm 41. So
The body ain't
so
responding like it used to, right?
yeah, for sure.
I mean, it definitely takes its toll. I mean, yeah, I'm a few years older than you, and shoulder surgeries, torn biceps, everything like that.
Mm, yeah,
It's
that's rough.
all on the same side too. And then now I got the other shoulders acting up on me. So I definitely feel you there.
Mm,
I mean, you've literally been in there with the who's who. You've been a title challenger. You've been Invicta FC champion. Uh, what when you walk away, what are going to be some of your more memorable moments from your career?
oh gosh, the list could just go on and on and on and on. But yeah, I mean, I've loved being in the UFC for as long as I have. I'm so grateful to I think I'll have had 14 fights in the octagon by the time I'm done. I think that sounds about right. Um, maybe 15, I don't know. But yeah, it was really cool. I'm so proud of everything I've done in my career and proud of who I've become and proud of everything that I've learned and it's been quite the ride. So I'm really glad I got on it.
It's I mean, I think when you're like 9-0 or 8-1 or something like that when you made your debut. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a run. We're going to be absolutely done with combat sports. We're not going to see you pop up here in a year doing boxing or bare knuckle or anything like that, are we?
No, I'll just do jujitsu. I'm good with jujitsu and just going to fights and watching. I'm excited to just be a fan after this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's madness putting everything together for a fight camp and then going out there doing all that, and then a lot of times you have friends, teammates, whatever, and you don't really kind of get to enjoy when they're fighting because you're just the craziness that goes on with putting a fight camp together. It's not the easiest thing to do to kind of support everyone who you want to show love to, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, fight camps are wild. They fly by too. They're expensive. They're hard on the body. They're hard on the mind. They're hard on your life, really. It's like to fight at the level that I want to fight at. I have to, let everything else in my life go for a little while so that I can just focus on fighting. And that is fun in a way, and it's really nice. But it's also, like I said, it's hard on everybody. It's hard on me. It's hard on my family. It's hard on my body. It's hard on my mind. And I think that I'm built for it and that I can do it. And I could probably fight even more fights after this, but why?
I mean, like where you are at in your career. It's like I mean, obviously you're not gonna wind up getting another title shot to getting another crack to potentially hold a title in the UFC. You've been world champion. You've had your other accomplishments in jiu-jitsu, like you've already talked about. That's something you do on a regular basis as well. So it's like, yeah, it's exactly why torture the mind, body, and spirit for another few more years to see what if, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about this fight. I think it's a good matchup for me. I'm excited to kind of dump everything that I have into this camp, and my friends are excited too. And that's just really been a big theme is let it all go for this last one. And not very many fighters get to pick when they have their last fight. not very many people get to retire from the sport. Like the sport retires a lot of people before they want to. And so I feel really blessed that I get to pick like when my last fight is. I feel blessed that I get to choose how I like want to look in that fight and how I want it to go and work really hard towards that goal. Like that all feels really good to me. It feels like I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. But yeah, I mean, Father Time is undefeated. You can't stop it. So
Yeah, I mean, it's like I like what you said there because a lot of time the sport winds up telling you like I already said there's guys that hold on too long. You might end up seeing guys or girls coming back sitting there not looking like themselves. We've already seen athletes do that in other sports and stuff like that. And then even recently we had Joanna basically said if they created a BMF belt for females that she'd come out of retirement. She's been retired for almost 2 years now. I mean, the silly things that come out of retirement for. I don't think a belt that's meaningless would be something that a lot of people would entertain. But I guess Joanna it's something that's on her radar apparently.
yeah, and who knows, maybe they will make a female BMF belt, but um it's like Nate Landwehr said it before. He was like, man, fighting sure will dull up your Saturday nights. You know, you go from a really exciting life that's, super, uh, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is besides exciting. It's a very exciting life and it's a great way to live. And like, um, it's really fun. So I think a lot of fighters, when they're done with their fight career, miss that adrenaline and they miss the fame and they miss the challenge and stuff like that. But I feel very confident I'm going to be happy in my next life.
Now that's the next part of it because obviously you're picking this is going to be it. What are you going to look to be doing when you get into that next part of your life? Are you gonna be coaching? Or are you gonna be looking to kind of stay around it, or is it you're going to completely move away from the combat sport life?
Oh no, I don't think I'll ever be completely out of the combat sports world. My husband and I own a Henzo Gracie in Houston, so we own a good jujitsu gym that has a lot of members. And I also own an aquatic fitness business called Deep End Fitness, and that's it's nationwide, but I own all the ones in Houston, and so that'll keep me busy as well. And those are both like things that you have to train for and be physically in shape for. So it's not like I can just become a fat piece of shit when I'm done. I have to actually like keep doing things. And I like it that way. That's how I want to live. I want to be around athletes. I want to be around interesting people. I want to do interesting things. And so, owning a jujitsu gym and deep end fitness is going to give me a lot of opportunities to do that. And then I know a lot of people in the fight game. I know a lot of fighters that are on their way up and like I would love the chance to excuse me, be an influence for them in some way, whether it's just coaching or an example or a sparring partner or just a friend, like any of those would be fine with me.
Now you were talking about not being a fat POS. Is there going to be some foods that you're going to be enjoying putting back into your life once you retire?
Honestly, I eat really I don't want to say like whatever I want, but like I eat a pretty balanced diet. Tonight I'm gonna have some steak, 5 tacos, burgers, steak and pasta almost every week. And my weight has been pretty low. So yeah, honestly not really. Like if I want something, I just have it and I don't really worry about it.
So it's not like you have like cheat meals or anything that like you kind of look forward to or anything like that.
I mean, not really. Like after sparring, I'll have a big meal because that's a hard day and like my body just kind of soaks up those nutrients and that's cool. So like after sparring, I'll have a steak and like pasta and stuff like that just to recharge. I have to lose like 5 pounds or something. So it's like a few nights a week, maybe I'll just have like a light dinner and the weight will come off. So I don't really I think back in the day when I was younger, I used to cut more weight and it was for some reason harder for me to lose. And uh it just isn't such a struggle anymore. I don't know why, but yeah, I remember like several years ago it was like hard to make weight and now I don't really believe in big weight cuts anymore. I don't think that's smart. So I try to cut a lot less than I used to.
Yeah, that's one of the more dangerous things I think that's involved in combat sports is the rapid extreme weight cutting thing. As you say, it's you know you found it as it being easier over the last few years. So obviously that's a thumbs up in your book. So it's something I always talk about just because it's one of the more dangerous things we see athletes do when it comes to combat sports. Is I've talked to guys. Oh, I've lost like 25 pounds in like 5 days. I'm like, what?
I know that's so bad for you. It's really kind of crazy. I talked to a guy in Houston, and he was one of those guys that's like hella proud of how much weight he can cut, which is just the most ridiculous thing to brag about. It's really stupid. It's like um, bragging about how much poison you can ingest before you get sick. You know what I'm saying? It's just dumb. But he's really big on like, oh, I could cut 20 pounds in 4 days, blah, 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 and it's just stupid. And I asked him the other day, I was like, this wasn't even the other day, it was like last Thanksgiving, but I'm like, how much water do you cut? He's like 13 pounds, 14 pounds, something like that. And it's like, well, cool dog, but how long before a fight is weigh-ins? Like about maybe 24 to 36 hours, 36 hours if you're fucking lucky. And I said, well, how long do you think it takes a cell to rehydrate? Like a cell in your body. And there was a nurse sitting next to us, and she was like, 24 to 48 hours. And I was like, yeah, like you ain't getting rehydrated in the time between your weight cut and the fight. And if you go into a fight dehydrated, not only do you have a much higher chance of getting knocked out, but you also lose so much of your strength and you lose conditioning, especially as the fight wears on. It just has such a um, detrimental effect on your performance. It's insane. And this guy has a shitload of losses. He'll never be in the UFC because he has too many losses on his record. And he just swore up and down that his weight cut has nothing to do with it. Like,
I
I
mean,
don't
I
know.
think, in my opinion, I think a lot of the fights that get canceled in between weigh-ins and fight night are typically because of fighters who didn't manage their weight cut properly and that they're quote unquote sick
Well, half of the fighters hire people to help them with that, and the people that they hire
or
don't have
idiots.
they're idiots. They don't have fucking any training, and the worst part is they cannot be held accountable for anything that they tell a fighter to do. So you could have a weight cutting specialist that literally kills somebody and they're not liable for what they do to an athlete. That's just the law. Like I tried to sue one time and it didn't work out. And so it just drives me crazy that fighters are put in this position where part of it they do to themselves, but a lot of it is just the culture of the sport and them not knowing any better, that
Yeah,
they like hire these fucking idiots to help them cut weight. Brian Ortega has a super famous weight cutting, not super famous. He's not super famous, but I mean, the guy that helped Brian Ortega cut weight, um, he helped me and he helped Jenna Fabian as well. Jenna Fabian missed weight for the $1 million tournament in PFL. She was like ejected from the tournament. I fought Valentina Shevchenko with a really contagious and dangerous infection that I never should have been in the ring with, that he insisted was okay. Brian Ortega missed weight so badly to fight Diego Lopez that they asked for a catch weight the next weight class up 3 days before the fight. And then Brian didn't even show up to the scale for the next weight class up. And that guy has helped many fighters. He's got hundreds of thousands of followers. He's like making money hand over fist. He's involved with Momentous, the protein company. He goes to the PI, and that guy has hurt more fighters than he's actually helped, and he cannot be held accountable for it. And that's just one guy. That's just one guy in the sport. I mean, I've dealt with so many nutritionists in this sport and breath work coaches and strength and conditioning coaches that literally have no idea what they're fucking doing. So I really hope that in the future, like if I can make any difference in the sport, I would want that to be it. Like get rid of these fucking idiots that like have never fought in their lives but want to be associated with fighters. They think it's cool to work with fighters and they cannot fight themselves, so the next best thing is to order a fighter around and tell them what to do.
yeah. I mean, I say it a lot of times. Like as great as MMA has been and how far it's grown. As far as visually wise, we have fights every weekend. It doesn't matter if it's UFC, whatever. Like there's so much that you can consume content wise as far as watching fights, but there's still so much stuff that goes on behind the scenes that kind of needs to be fixed. Like, I talk about it all the time, judging, scoring, as you're talking about, like, you know, the nutritionist, weight cutting, things like that. Just so much in the sport that could be better, should be better, and some of the things that we shouldn't even be discussing. But you know, we're still dealing with a sport that's barely even 30 years old.
Yeah, and especially for like women in this sport, I think it gets even harder because a lot of coaches out there just try to treat them like men. They'll give them the same strength and conditioning programs as a man. They'll give them the same like nutrition programs as a man. Um, yeah, and like I said, just most of these people are hella unqualified, and even the ones that are qualified don't even always have the fighters' like best interests at heart. You know, they have themselves at heart. They're trying to think of how can they get famous? How can they get on the fucking embedded episode? How can they get their face on the UFC broadcast? How can they get more followers? And I just think it's kind of disgusting, to be honest with you.
Because that's the content creator world that we live in, right?
Yeah, and all the fucking biohackers and shit that like just want to be associated with fighters so bad. Most of them are 5'5" and fucking never even have never been in an altercation in their fucking lives, and then here they come around trying to act like they're a fighter. It's insane to me.
And then we see the other kind of off-brand sports that are popping up. Like obviously Dana has the, you know, the slap promotion. You know, BKFC's kind of launching a bare knuckle ice fighting, like, you know, like hockey fights.
What? No, you're kidding me. On ice skates?
No, yes, absolutely. No, June 14th in Michigan's going to be the first one. They're
fighting on ice skates.
Yes.
Babe. In Michigan, bare knuckle boxing is starting fights on ice skates.
Of course it's in Michigan.
Of course it's in Michigan.
Well, no, the funny thing is the 28th they're doing one.
That's unbelievable.
Canada, and
that's
they're
unfucking believable.
Right.
Nobody's gonna be happy until like somebody gets killed. You know what I mean?
Well, no, like from what I was talking about, like they've got it.
Oh, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Check. Can you hear me?
Oh, are you back?
I'm here. Are you here?
Okay. Yeah, the last thing I heard was about the ice skating thing, and then I told you about
basically
it. Okay.
It's now sanctioned in Nebraska now too, and like that's something that they're gonna be continually doing. Like, all right, like you remember when we watched the Mighty Ducks, how they used to say, like, you know, glove stick shirt. You're not gonna be able to pull the shirt up if the helmet comes off. They immediately stop, reset, put the helmets back on. So they are gonna make sure these guys are protected, but. Even Brian Callenher has signed up for it. Former UFC bantamweight. He's actually part of that.
Brian who?
Brian Callenher.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he's going to be involved in that. I mean, and that's not like it's. I mean, I guess it's going to be interesting for the people who used to love like old school hockey. I'm sure that they're going to fall in love with that. But
do they get sticks and shit too, or is
no sticks? It's basically just going to be you know, the gloves are gone. It's going to be like bare knuckle, like the hand wraps and all that. But they're gonna have the hockey equipment.
And no helmets for though, right? No helmets.
No, they are going to have helmets. So
how the fuck are you going to punch somebody with a helmet on?
We're going to see how many broken hands we're going to see in that the first.
Yeah, a lot. Why the fuck would you punch somebody with a helmet on? There has to be some way around that, unless it's like the goal is to get their helmet. I don't even know. That just sounds so have you seen like the car jujitsu videos? Like these fools that like are doing fucking jujitsu.
It's almost like the phone booth fighting nonsense.
Do you know what? I think all these fucking terrible fuckers that are in the MMA game that are like weight cutting coaches and strength and conditioning coaches and fight dietitian. Well, I guess nutritionist, right? Because you don't really need any qualifications to be a nutritionist, but I think you actually need to have like a degree to be a dietitian, right? So all these weight cutting nutritionists and weight cutting specialists, that's not even a fucking thing, by the way. Like that's not an actual thing, but like we should have them be like, all right, you want to work with MMA fighters? Cool. First, you have to go do this card jujitsu bullshit. Then you got to go do a fucking tag team match. And then you got to go fight on ice skates. And then you can work with fighters. How about that?
Yeah, because what did Eddie Hall did one of those ones, like a 3-on-1, right? The
Mm.
strongest, the strongest man in the world guy that did like a 3-on-1 in Russia.
Yeah, I don't know. So I see the weirdest shit coming out of like Russia and fucking Japan and shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, New Zealand has a promotion called Run It. It's basically like, I guess the rugby, like how they have over there in New Zealand, but it's just the goal is like like old school football is just like run through people and knock them out. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh wow, CTE in New Zealand, gotcha.
There's so many more like better ways to get CTE than that. God.
This is like I said, this is the world we live in with with all the promotion popping up. Wait, I think I got the promo for ice hockey in there. There you go. Battle of the
Battle
Border.
of the Border. Okay, I'm definitely gonna look that up. So they're on ice skates and there they are. Holy shit. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's gonna be like I said. It's we're in this weird time. I don't know what is going on. I mean, I already said it as it is. Like just like we're getting to the point where I like you're not seeing enough of the characters and the that we used to see, and like
Mhm.
the personalities that used to come into the combat sports world where we were 5 years ago. And I don't know if it's just people aren't as interesting as we were back then, but I mean, you look at it like I remember in the UFC when UFC used to continually do the Ultimate Fighter, and there was at least like three or four guys or girls per season that it was like fans were invested and they wanted to see how they were doing things of that nature. And now it's almost like it's just not getting the personalities that we used to. I guess I would say it that way.
Um, yeah, sometimes I feel like the personalities of the fighters get overshadowed by the people around them. Like, like, yeah, everybody just wants to be fucking famous without doing any hard work, honestly. Like,
Yeah, because
not
isn't
not
Paige Van
everybody.
Zant the big girl in slap fighting now?
Is what?
Isn't Van Zant like the big name in the slap fighting for the females now?
Dude, I couldn't tell you. I don't really watch it. So I have
I think
no
I seen
fucking
somewhere
idea.
she's supposed to be doing a one of the slap tournaments in like the end of June and wants to fight for their inaugural title. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really watch slap fighting. Like one of my teammates did it, and I watched her do it, and I don't know. That's not for me, dude. After
Hey,
this, like,
all right, like listen, I don't got nothing against Dana. Like if you get a bunch of idiots to sign up for that, you get. But isn't that stuff we did like when we were in high school, or did I miss something? I'm just saying. I know I'm getting old, but I'm just saying that it doesn't get my juices flowing. I don't know.
yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I don't really get it, but whatever. I guess to each their own, I suppose. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
not for
mean,
me.
we're still entertaining Jake Paul and his nonsense. So I mean, I guess why not, right?
At least he's paying fools and like he puts on some pretty legit boxing matches and stuff. Like
Yeah,
maybe, maybe
I
not
think
his own,
his
but like when he matches up other people, they're really good.
I think his smartest thing that he's done to give himself the credit and notoriety was one, bring Amanda Serrano in, and two, the rash of female fighters that he has signed and matching up right now. I think is probably the smartest thing he could have done to help his brand. In my eyes, I won't give him the credit he deserves until he fights a guy his age in his weight class.
I think he
At
did,
that
didn't he? Didn't he fight a good boxer that was his age? I don't know if it was his weight
Well,
class,
but
but
Tommy Fury was 2 weight classes under.
oh really? Yeah.
That's my thing. All right, the closest one he fought to his weight class was Anderson Silva, and he was over 40 at the time, so I can't give him that.
That'd
I
be
mean, I
like
will
me
give him the
fighting an
credit
atom
that
weight.
he's fighting names that people would want to fight and things of that nature that you're kind of learning on the fly. But at some point in time, you have to drop the amateur act and actually fight real boxers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That would be like me fighting an atom weight. Like if I fought somebody 2 weight classes down from me. So I don't know. I don't really follow boxing. I don't really follow Jake Paul. I don't follow fucking slap fighting or any of this dumb shit going on. I can barely fucking follow MMA as it is. So I'm just, try to fucking, I don't know.
I mean, among all the crazy stuff, some of the news cycle stuff I seen today. What was it? The kid Sandhagen said he made $2 million off of OnlyFans, showing his basketballs apparently.
Sandhagen? Corey Sandhagen showed his balls
Yeah.
on OnlyFans?
He on OnlyFans, I guess he was putting some some adult content out there, and he made $2 million apparently.
Really?
Yeah, here's the little thing I found. Mike Perry was interviewing. I mean, to Corey made $2 million off of his. We're saying basketballs, but obviously we can read between the lines of what he was doing.
Oh, yeah. That surprises me, honestly. I didn't think Corey Sandhagen was the kind of guy to show his balls to the world or to OnlyFans, but whatever.
Yeah,
I guess if he's got, they must be pretty nice balls if you got 2 million for him. You
got enough weirdos in this world. That's all I gotta say.
I'm gonna ask him about that on Monday. I'm gonna ask him at the gym.
Oh man! So what? Oh, so he goes to your gym. That's even funnier now.
I go to his gym.
Okay. And then the other crazy thing that's been making the news cycle has been the gorilla versus 100-man thing. Are you buying into any of this? Because I've seen it now. We're getting like some of the NFL players are going like, I think our team of 53 guys could do it. We don't need 100. I'm like, are you guys really still sitting there talking about this? We're talking about a silverback gorilla. He's going to rip in half the first 10 guys before someone actually gets a hold of him.
I know. Who's going first?
I'm not like, listen, if I'm signing, I'm in the back.
I'm in the back.
I'm not going to lie. Like, and I think the other thing is like you're still going to get half people that are just going to run off because they're vomiting because their friend Fred just got planted into the ground like a freaking like a tent spike.
Yeah, I don't think 10 dudes could take on a gorilla. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see it. That's for sure. I'd be rooting for the gorilla. 100%. I'd be rooting for the gorilla.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's one of those things. Just the ridiculous of social media and the nonsense that goes through people's head. We just need to put an end to that.
Yeah.
But your fight, obviously, I wanted to kind of talk about this. We seen the matchup. Up and coming rank girl. You're looking like you're gonna humble her for this one. Obviously, that's the idea. Perfect world. How do you see this thing playing out for you?
Is she ranked?
I think she's like not in the top 10. I think she's like 17th or something like that.
Oh, okay. She's not in the top 15.
Yeah.
I see me winning. So I've been working really hard.
You don't have to give away your game plan to me, my friend, or anyone else. I'm just
saying.
I
mean, like people always ask about game plans, and it's like, I mean, what's your fucking plan in MMA? I'm gonna go punch them in the face, try to take them down, beat them up. Maybe they get up. Fucking punch them again, take them down again, kick them a few times, kick them in the leg, try to kick them in the head. Like I'm gonna fight her, And so I don't know. She'll probably try to take me down, and I feel like I've got pretty good takedown defense. I'm just really looking forward to going out there and being focused and having the kind of performance that I had against Miesha Tate. That's really what I want, is to like capture that feeling again and have that focused, like smooth feeling of just getting into a good flow state and being good at what I do. I've been doing this for fucking 15 years. So yeah, I believe in my skills and once I'm in shape and like my cardio is right and I've got the right people in my corner, I think a win is inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely rooting for you. Last walkout is the last time you're gonna feel the electricity of an MMA walkout. Is there anything you're going to miss?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna miss it all. I'm gonna miss the excitement. I'm gonna miss the challenge of it. I'm gonna miss the discipline that it requires to like be a good fighter. I'm gonna miss all the rewards. Like when you win a fight, there's just not a better fucking feeling in the world. Like no better feeling than getting your hand raised in the UFC octagon. So yeah, there's definitely things I'm gonna miss. I miss my youth. I think as people grow old, they all miss their youth. And I don't know. On the other hand, it's like I'm so proud that I've been in the UFC for so long, and I'm very proud that I did as much as I did with my career. I'm super proud of who I've become because of it, and I'm very, very proud to retire as a UFC fighter. Like I'm never gonna fight for another organization. I don't want to. The UFC is the best organization in the world, and it has the best fighters in the world in it. And I fought the best of the best, and I'm really proud of that. And so I don't want to like go backwards and go back to a different promotion because it's not the UFC and it's not as good, and the competition is not as good. And not only that, but like I said, dude, I'm 41. I'll be fucking 42 this year. So it's like I feel like I've really run my race, dude. I gave it everything I had, and I think I did pretty well for, you know, I think I did pretty well considering any circumstances. So like yeah, I'm just happy to retire a UFC fighter, and I'm very excited to be able to say that.
Not a lot of people kind of are able to sit there and say like, not only did I make it, but I got to hang in there for more than a handful of years. I fought for a world title, and getting to retire. Are you going to do the obligatory leave your gloves in there?
I haven't decided. I might, but it's like, do they really leave him in there? They got to clear him out before the next fight. The
Yeah,
commission probably
obviously.
just picks him up and gives
I
him
guess
back
it's
to you, I'm sure.
symbolic, right? I guess it's symbolic at the end of the day, because obviously you want them back, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't care. They like, yeah, the commission's just gonna come by and fucking pick him up and give him to us outside the cage anyway. It's not like the UFC keeps him or something. Like, yeah. So I'll probably lay him down. Somebody else will pick him up and give him back to me in the back.
Make sure you just tell one of your cornermen, don't let someone run off with them. I'm keeping them babies.
Hey, Joe's really good about that. Joe has always been really good about like making sure that we get all the memorabilia, and get it right. So
It's definitely it's definitely been a fun ride. I mean, I've interviewed you a few times over the years, and I'd be remiss to remind everyone after this interview what I want everyone to do, because we are doing a giveaway. I do have some signed cards from Lauren here, right? What I want everyone to do is, come back to this episode, leave a comment on it, regardless if it's Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Give me your either your fight prediction or your favorite Lauren Murphy moment. That's all I really want everyone to do.
You're gonna get
Subscribe to the
so
channel,
many
like everything.
my name is Lawrence. You're gonna get so many my name is Lawrence.
Hey, if that's the silly comments that people come up with, so be it.
Yeah, delete all the shitty ones. There's a lot of shitty people out there too.
Oh, there is. I get them like, dude. I like, all right, like I post reels from different shows I do football shows, whatever. And there's always somebody, like, it doesn't matter if it's TikTok or if it's freaking X or whatever. There's always some idiot that has to be like why the recent thing is like, the dust up between the media members because of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, the WNBA players. There was a hard foul, and there's stuff going back and forth. And one of the guys is like, well, it's obvious he hated at this point in time. So another media member goes out and starts mentioning the fact that he can't talk about the plight of black women because he's married to a white woman. I'm like, wait, what? What does that have anything to do with basketball? Why are we talking about this?
Those girls didn't even get into a fight. They fucking bumped into each other. And they talked a little bit of shit. Like, that happens on the street every fucking day. I don't understand why that's even a fucking headline. It happens in the NBA all the goddamn time. Like, all the goddamn time. Why is it so special when two women do it?
I don't get it.
It's not like they were slapping each other and pulling each other's hair or something.
No,
She literally was like, I'm not scared of you. That's fucking headlines now. I don't know.
It was one of those things. It's like when you're playing basketball and the person's going to go or shot and no one's defending it. It's a take fail, and it wasn't like she shoved her. It was arm and ball.
Yeah.
And the other girl jumped up and was upset about it. She's literally walking the other way, like pushing her arm away, walking over to the other side. There was no real altercation, and we're still talking about it. It makes no sense to me. The way how stuff is perceived, how medias twist things, how people just want to be showing, I guess, who they are as people is just weird. I guess I would say it that way.
Right. Yeah.
But don't want to keep you too much longer. I know you're yawning. You had a good day of workouts, and I know when we set this up, we pushed it back just so you can get your workout in and get everything going. Lauren, you know how I typically end things, to kind of throw the proverbial microphone over to you. Anyone would like to thank, training partners, teammates, shoot out those social media sites, any sponsors you want to have, any final parting shots you got for me, my friend? The time is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, I just really want to thank Alchemize Fightwear. It's a brand that's made for women by women, and they make really awesome combat gear. So anything for BJJ, MMA, wrestling, they make gear just for women, and it's made by women. And then 10% of all the profits that they make are donated to victims of domestic violence and domestic violence shelters. And so that's a cause that's really near and dear to my heart. So if you are a female and you need some really good fightwear, go to alchemizefightwear.com, and then you can get 10% off if you use Lucky Lauren as the code. But even if you forget the code, that's okay. Just go support Alchemize because they're badass.
You gotta love when you have like, like gear companies and things like that do stuff like that, because obviously, like, this month is mental health awareness month, but I don't think enough gets put into domestic violence. My mother was a domestic violence survivor, so a lot of fighters that wind up in this game tend to come from a domestic violence situation, whether it be their partners, because of what their family what had to go through and things of that nature. So I definitely love to see companies that kind of target towards women like that. It's not, there's not enough of those people, companies, things of that nature that kind of get involved in these things.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's always a pleasure, Lauren. Best of skill for you in the coming fight. Hopefully the rest of the camp is smooth, no injuries, nothing like that, no setbacks or anything. And I hope that once you get in there, everything goes exactly as you envision it. And nothing against your opponent or anything like that. I'm definitely a little biased. I've been following your career since like the Invicta days. So
yeah.
I can't, I'm not going to act like I'm not biased in the situation, even though we're supposed to be as much as we can. It's always been a pleasure. It's been a fun ride. Hopefully we'll find some reasons to catch up in the future, have you back on here for, something that along those lines. But
absolutely.
As always, my friend, it's a pleasure, and best of skill, and catch up with you, my friend.
Thank you so much, Stephen. It's been great, man. Thanks for being here for my whole career.
It was definitely a pleasure, and glad you could always give me something to talk about, and we can always have some fun, my friend. So do your thing, and we'll catch up in one way, shape, or form. All right.
Hell yeah! Right on. Talk to you soon.
Likewise. All right, everyone. That was Miss Lauren Lucky Murphy. Another fun episode of The Real and the Rare here on the South Florida Tribune media company, and it's always fun catching up with these athletes. Lauren is definitely a unique person, and I'm going to remind everyone again, when we get done with this, make sure you go onto the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and we're going to be giving away a couple of these Lauren Murphy sign cards that she said she sent us out. And listen, like I said, leave a comment, your favorite your favorite Lucky Lauren moment, in the cage, in the ring, if you met her through some weird circumstances, fight prediction, whatever. We're gonna run it from now to the end of the month, during her fight. And appreciate everyone hopping in, showing us love on all the programming that we do here. Other than that, I'm Steve, and this was another episode of The Real and the Rare. We will be back with 2 more unique interviews next Sunday. Obviously, we'll see everyone Tuesday evening for Inside the Pigskin, and Wednesday morning for The Fan in the End with me and Mr. Ben Troop. Catch you guys next time. Peace out, my friends.